everyone, welcome back to Homestead in a Box. My name is Leah. I'm super grateful to have you here today. It's a beautiful day here in southeastern Oklahoma. The temperatures are nice. The sun is not working in my favor for this video, but it's a video that I've been wanting to record, and it's something I get asked all the time, is how do I grow my potatoes? And if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen I grow my potatoes in trash bags. And so today I have one last bag that I need to plant, and I just wanted to show you all how easy it can be to plant potatoes for your family. Something you don't have to go to the grocery store and buy. I'm doing it in trash bags, which is super inexpensive, using native soil from my property. So I haven't even went out and bought soil for this project. It's just soil that I've gotten from here that I've amended with rabbit manure and leaf mulch. And literally I'm growing potatoes in trash bags. I have a video here on YouTube, and I will try to find it and link that video down in the description of me harvesting potatoes. The first year I grew them in recycled feed sacks, so that works also. And then last year I did them in 55-gallon black trash bags, and I had a successful harvest then. And then so this year I'm doing them in 33-gallon trash bags, just because I think the tighter they are in there. I heavily fertilize things, so I think the 33-gallon bags will be just as good as what the 50-gallon size bags were. So everything I've just mentioned is really inexpensive to be able to grow potatoes for my husband and I that have a long shelf life. So I'll plant these now and harvest them at probably, I'm going to say, the end of May, 1st of June, somewhere around in there, and like 125 days, somewhere around there, about 125 days. And then I can store these just in a potato box. I can store them in a box under my bed out of the sun, and they store for a really long time. So it just makes sense for us to try to grow our own potatoes. My goal this year is to get 10 pounds of potatoes out of each bag. So I have so far behind me 9 bags done, and I'm going to do the 10th bag with you and show you just how easy it is to be able to grow potatoes for your family at home in a super small space in your backyard. So as you see, I already have 9 bags done. They're kind of in a row. So I bought black fabric that I felt like I should have laid down before doing this, but I didn't. So live and learn. Next time I will definitely lay the black fabric down that I bought. But these are just trash bags, 33 gallons. All you need to grow food is something that can hold some soil and that can drain some water out of it. So I'm going to show you all just how easy it is to fill this up. And then I do need to come in and actually put drain holes in all of these bags, and I'll just show you how easy that is as well. Alright, so I'm going to come down here where my last bag goes. I just have this regular trash bag. I'm going to open it up. It's super simple. We tend to overcomplicate a lot of things when it comes to growing food. I do it myself, and I've been growing food for several years now, and I still have the tendency to overcomplicate things. So we're just going to get this bag rolled over. You're just going to take it and roll your bag over. I'm in Oklahoma, so we're always fighting wind, it seems, but alright, so your bag, you're just going to roll it over and lay it on the ground like you see here. Get the bag here. I take some sticks and just stick in the bottom. That way it helps keep the bag open while I'm shoveling soil in, and gives kind of a shape to it. So I'll just stick these here, and then I'm just going to fill it up. Once I fill it up, this soil here that I'm gathering, this is soil that came from the potato bags last year. Some of it has grass that's grown up in it, and I'm just picking those out. But the majority of this soil came from all of my bags last year. And so I'm just reusing the same soil and just going to amend it again and add more amendments to it in these bags. I'm going to fill down, and I want to get like 3 to 6 inches of soil in the bottom of my bag. All right, the next thing you're gonna need is seed potatoes. Seed potatoes are potatoes that have little eyes that have been started on them. I'll zoom in, well, let's see. See these little eyes there? There you go. Okay, these are eyes on your potatoes. And those are seed potatoes. All right, I'm not gonna say that you cannot get potatoes from the grocery store and get your own seed potatoes, because there's a lot of stories out there of people who have had success doing that. I've heard that if you get organic ones that haven't been sprayed, that you have a lot more success with those than just regular ones, but I've also heard people say that they've had success with regular ones. For me personally, this year is the first year that I've been able to save potatoes from my last harvest and plant those. So the first 5 bags are potatoes that I have planted with seed potatoes that I kept from my harvest last year. And then the next 5 bags, I purchased these from Atwoods. You can get them at Atwoods, Tractor Supply, some of your local co-ops, feed stores, places like that. Any place that sells plant starts, you can find seed potatoes. A lot of times your co-ops and places like that are more affordable than your bigger box stores. So definitely look into it. But I believe these came from Atwoods. This will be my 3rd year getting seed potatoes from Atwoods, and I've always had success with them. Like I said earlier, I have other YouTube videos of me harvesting the potatoes and planting them. I'm just trying to make this video itself strictly about how to grow potatoes. So get your seed potatoes, and then once you get them, so what I do is I plant 2 layers of potatoes, and I'm going to show you all what that looks like here. And so basically I want to explain what it's doing is you're planting 2 potatoes, and then you're covering it up with 4 to 7 inches of soil, and then you're planting 2 more potatoes in the opposite direction. So you're planting 2 this way and then 2 this way. And like I said, I'll show you here. But basically what's that's doing is it's kind of, I'm hoping that it's doubling your crop. I watched a video last year, Garden Like a Viking, and I had learned to do that on his video. I did that last year. I had a pretty good harvest, but my red potatoes always do great. So the majority of what I'm starting this year are red potatoes. They are smaller than like your yellow, is it Yukon yellows or something like that, and your purples and stuff like that. Those potatoes are great, and the yellow ones that I grew last year, they got pretty big, but the most prolific that I've grown are the red ones. So this year I'm primarily focusing on just growing the red potatoes. So let me show you how we're gonna do this. I have my first 2 seed potatoes. I'm gonna just put one right here, and I'm gonna put the other one here, and I'm gonna cover this up with soil. I'm gonna add a good 4 to 6 inches of soil over that. And here I'm just getting rocks out. If you've been here for a while, you know we literally grow rocks here. Rocks and ants. So I'm just kind of getting any rocks out. Look how great this soil looks, y'all. This soil was just native soil, but basically last year I amended it with rabbit manure and leaf mulch. And now my soil, it's pretty dark looking soil. It feels good and everything. I'm really, really grateful for it. All right, so I'm gonna add some more soil. Again, you're rolling the bag up, the more soil you add. Get any heavy rocks or anything out. Like I said, I'll always have a little bit of rocks. I try to get most of them out, but okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more soil here. Then, I'm gonna take 2 more potatoes here. I'm gonna put one here and one here on the opposite side. Cover them up and add more soil. Roll the bag up, add a few more inches of soil, take out any rocks, I now have 10 bags of potatoes growing. I'm gonna go in with just a stick and add and poke a bunch of drainage holes. The lighting again, but as you see, it does not take much to grow potatoes. If you don't have trash bags and you have something else laying around, people have grown potatoes in 5-gallon buckets. Always just make sure you're drilling drainage holes all the way up, because it rains sometimes in like monsoons here in Oklahoma, and you always want to make sure that there's room for your water to drain out, or your potatoes will rot. They basically just sit in water and they'll rot. So always make sure that you have proper drainage holes in whatever you're planting your potatoes in. Trash bags, mineral tubs, buckets. I've seen people do the wire and the straw. I mean, there's so many different methods, but for me, trash bags, some seed potatoes that I started last year, and I did have to spend, well, I bought 2 bags this year. I didn't even use 1 whole bag, so lesson learned. But I'm just gonna hold on to those, stick them under the bed, let them grow some more eyes, and use them for the fall crop. But not a lot of money, you know, and hopefully a pretty high, you know, return once we harvest these potatoes. The potatoes, I'll keep everybody updated. If you're new here, thank you for being here. I pretty much keep everyone updated on the garden throughout the year. I show the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things here. I don't really, I mean, the garden to me is a romantic place, but I don't fantasize it. There are times you can go back and scroll here on YouTube where I have showed my garden when it was covered in weeds and wasn't very pretty, you know, so we keep it real here. I will show you my potatoes and about the time that we harvest them. This year I'm actually going to add soil on top of the leaves as the leaves grow. Previously in the years past, I've never really done that because I've grown them in such big containers. I didn't really feel like I needed to do that, but this year I'm really wanting to just, you know, okay, I know this, it's in my think tank, so might as well just try it. So I'm gonna try it this year, and hopefully, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm gonna get at least 10 pounds of potatoes out of each one of these bags. If you have any questions about growing potatoes, drop them down in the comments below. Potatoes are heavy fertilizers, so I will feed these potatoes a couple times with some rabbit manure, but other than that, because they're growing during a season when it rains here a lot in Oklahoma, the best thing I can recommend is to get a moisture meter. I'll put a link to the one that I use down in the description. It's a simple Amazon buy. And that's how I tell if I need to water my potatoes. This is going into my 3rd time growing potatoes, I believe 3rd or 4th time growing potatoes. And they're really kind of a hands-off crop for me, because here in Oklahoma where I live, I do get quite a bit of rain throughout the majority of their grow season. It's an easy crop to grow for your family. If you are eating potatoes from the grocery store and you have even just a small backyard and the means to grow potatoes, I highly recommend it. They say homegrown food tastes better than store-bought food, and that is a fact. Potatoes are one thing that I was just a little blown away at the taste of how much better they taste when you grow them yourself. And even if it's just one little small bag, a friend of mine grew some last year, and you know, she had said she just got real small potatoes off of them, you know, but at least she tried to grow potatoes. And this year, you know, she's kind of amping up the space that she's growing them in and giving them a little bit more room to grow in, and she'll probably see a higher yield this year, you know. But the point is that she's trying. Instead of sitting on it and not doing anything about it, she's actually going out there and she's trying to grow food for her family. If anything I can encourage you is to try to grow food for your family. Right now it is February, I believe 20th, something like that, maybe 20, something like that. And there's several things that you can plant directly in the ground right now. Spinach, beets, turnips, collards, lettuce, carrots. I'm gonna have a video over how to grow carrots. A lot of people struggle with growing carrots, but I've had really great luck with them. Again, and I'm gonna grow carrots in trash bags this year. And on that video, I'll explain why there is definitely a reason why I'm doing it. But so lettuces, your carrots, beets, turnips, collards, any of your greens, things like that. Some places you can find some brassicas that have already been started, your cabbage, your broccoli, your cauliflower. Those are all great things to go ahead and get in the ground. But for the most part, I mean, it's gearing up season. If you're starting seeds at home, a few things that you should definitely be starting depending on your last estimated frost. But here in southeastern Oklahoma, we're starting eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, pretty much our summer garden. The most of the things that I'm starting in the house are just going to be eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, things like that. A lot of my things, like I think squash, zucchini, okra, all those, I don't really start those from seed. You can start those from seed. I have started them from seed, but I have found that they do better when you're just direct transplanting them, and they grow just about just as quick. I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't experiment with them last year. But so those are a few things that you can be starting right now. Let me know where you're from down in the comments. If you haven't checked us out on all of our social medias, check us out there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super grateful for each and every one of you who are just walking this journey with me. You know, it's a journey for all of us, and I'm super grateful that you're here. As always, I am sending you good vibes. Send some good vibes to somebody that you know, and I'll see you all next week talking about how to grow carrots from seed.